Governor Desantis in Escambia County this morning speaking out against Amendment 3. Now, if passed, that amendment on this year's ballot would allow people over 21 to legally use recreational marijuana. But the governor says there's more to the amendment than what voters see on the ballot.
DeSantis claims the amendment has little to do with expanding freedom to consume marijuana and more to do about putting money in the pockets of big companies. Tanner Stewart's in the studio with more on that. Tanner?
Bob, Sue, Governor DeSantis was joined today by Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons, and other sheriffs across Northwest Florida were in attendance. Their message was simple. This amendment is not what voters think it is on the surface.
Was this driven by citizens throughout Florida who really wanted to write this? No, it was not.
Governor Ron DeSantis says Amendment 3 is disguised as freedom. He says if passed, this would protect what he calls a corporate cartel.
What they do is they create in the Constitution of Florida a big weed cartel where these incumbent companies have these special privileges where you as a Floridian would not be able to grow your own. You would have to buy it from them. And so the rights that are in here are basically about a right to engage in commercial transactions with these companies who are sponsoring the amendment.
Speaking inside the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, DeSantis says he has many issues with the language of Amendment 3. One key issue, where and when Floridians would have access to marijuana.
This has no limitation on public use. It would impact the culture of the state, the quality of life of the state. It will impact tourism 100%. And so this is far from being about freedom. It really undermines freedom. Go and do it eyes wide open. If you haven't read this, how do you justify a yes vote if you haven't read the constitutional text?
Dr. Joseph Ladapo, the state surgeon general, doubled down on the governor's claims that Amendment 3 will only hurt the citizens of Florida.
It is truly grotesque, right? I'm gonna wave a freedom flag. You're gonna smile because we love freedom. We all love freedom. But really the details are that, it is enslavement. You're gonna be trapped in a relationship with me if you want to do it this way. And it's gonna be a one-sided relationship because if you have any problems, you're on your own.
While Sheriff Chip Simmons acknowledged he's not been outspoken against Amendment 3, today he says Escambia County's drug crisis will only get worse if the amendment passes.
Our community will not be better. Now, I haven't gotten out and said, I'm all against this. I haven't held signs up, but I can tell you what I see. I see this, and when I'm asked a question, am I support of Amendment 3, the answer based upon what I know, based upon what I see, based upon what I hear, is an absolute no.
Around Pensacola, every dispensary we drove past shows support for Amendment 3. Mixed reviews across social media today. While many say no, dozens showed support for passing it. Some even challenging claims made by the governor and others that similar laws in other states have caused problems. Others argue if alcohol and cigarettes are legal, what's wrong with marijuana? Now, Governor DeSantis was adamant that preventing smoking marijuana in public can't be enforced, but as we heard from local Representative Alex Andrade just last week, he tells WEAR if this passes, the legislature still has the ability to regulate where marijuana can be consumed. In the studio, I'm Tanner Stewart.